lecturer sacked after calling a student a troublesome transformer kid and saying universities are like care homes for disabled. Yeah, they're not wrong. Loses free speech tribunal. See, and this is another reason why colleges suck, because all of their good professors are, they're being treated like this guy. A senior university lecturer was sacked after he was accused of referring to a student as a troublesome transformer kid, and an employment tribunal has heard. But he's right, though. 11 times out of 10, transformers are HR ticking time bombs. That's like the definition of troublesome right there. Film and TV academic Russell Charrington said university was becoming like care homes for people with disabilities, and criticized diversity by claiming people were hired to tick boxes, which was stopping normal people from getting work. Yeah, look, that's even stopping normal people from applying to a lot of these places. Like once they catch on that these places are specifically catering to a specific group of psychos, normal people will avoid even showing up there. So he claimed he was protected by a new freedom of speech legislation designed to allow university staff to speak their minds. So this guy made the mistake of being the first guy to try to test the new legislation, and it didn't go the way he would have wanted right here. Yeah, let someone else be the guinea pig and figure this out, man. Don't let this be you. But after tearful complaints from students at the University of Derby, where he was fired for his misogynistic, transphobic, and ableist comments, so he literally just proved he proved himself right there. So the disabled people who were crying that their caretaker at the care home offended them won, and he's like, yeah, dude, you guys you just proved my point. Mr. Charrington has now lost his case for unfair dismissal after the tribunal ruled that he had breached principles of equality, dignity, and inclusivity with his remarks. Oh, you see here? They always do this, don't they? So apparently there's new freedom of speech legislation that allows them to allegedly speak their mind, but that apparently doesn't apply if you speak out against DEI. No, the freedom of speech only goes one way. See, it's making a lot of sense, isn't it? They've already done this so many times, like they did it with racism, for example, because they're the ones that are being pretty racist. So they just changed the definition of the word racism to exclude them from it. They always, and my favorite lines of all, right? There's nothing political about just being a decent person. This also has its roots in that. Because like they ban political discussions, yet they don't do anything when people are discussing far left stuff. And then as soon as someone counters with right-wing views, they get banned. And when they call out the double standard, like, this isn't political. They were being good people and you were speaking hate speech. So they make hate speech a bannable offense, and then they label everything their opposition says as hate speech to shut them down. Typical far left tactics right here. It also found the university did not breach its freedom of speech laws, as they did not constitute an academic line of conversation and were not part of or arose from the teaching material. Yeah, the catch is the teaching material where this could arise from is likely banned. So they're never even going to run into this case in the first place. That's what's going on right here. The hearing held in Nottingham was told that Mr. Charrington began working for the higher indoctrination institution as senior lecturer in September of current year -15. In November of current year -2, the film and high-end TV course he taught received very low student satisfaction score, and the National Student Survey around 30 to 35%. So when you have nothing but a bunch of adult toddlers, they're going to start reeing at you, and that will affect your overall scores, which might stop normal people from taking your courses. As a result, the department held a meeting with students to address concerns raised in the survey, which Mr. Change's behavior was talked about. The tribunal heard that students were in tears and visibly upset, discussing remarks Mr. Change made throughout, and that the dean of the College of Arts, Professor Alex Molasiotis, was so emotionally impacted that he was unable to continue listening to the students. Wow. So first off, Unless this guy actually attacked somebody, the fact that the students were in tears, they should be immediately kicked out. Like, you're obviously not mature enough to be here. You just go back to kindergarten until you fix this. Now, as for the dean, I'm actually willing to give the dean the benefit of the doubt, because I'm just thinking, if I was in his position and I had to deal with a bunch of alleged adults in tears because their professor used a word they found offensive, I don't think I'd be able to continue listening to them either. Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, we're going to end this now before there's a body count, because this is not going to end well. I cannot listen to these idiots any longer. No, this ends now. Oh, God help us, World War III starts and the draft is called. If I was a decision maker in the military, I would explicitly not want any of these people. Like, yeah, we want to boost the power of our fighting force, not cripple it, okay? Yeah, the fact that breaking down in tears of the simplest thing shows how weak these people are. Yep, although eventually, once all of their support systems collapse, natural selection is going to take care of them, man. These comments included showing a Madonna music video to demonstrate the benefits of selling her body and describing an actress in another video as not attractive enough, the hearing was told. So he was trying to teach them that sex sells. He was trying to teach these people that, yeah, it doesn't matter what you feel. Reality is this. And he's fired for it. This right here is one of the reasons I have no hope of the West ever recovering when it comes to entertainment. The people that are going to be the future of the industry literally are driven to tears when a professor tells them that sex sells. This industry has no hope of recovery at all. The entire thing needs to be scrapped, and a new one needs to be built on the rubble. It's the only way. And when reviewing a script involving a character with autism, he said universities were becoming a care home for people with disabilities. Was he wrong? And during a discussion about diversity in the industry, he was alleged to have said that people were hired to tick boxes, which was stopping normal people from getting work. Yeah, he told the truth, and for that, he got fired. So I think that this industry has chosen death. It would rather keep sticking its head in the sand than address the truth. Someone tell Trump this. No, this was an Airstrip 1. I mean, Trump might laugh at it, but what can he do about it? This was an Airstrip 1 college. Mr. Chandon has also said he would not accommodate a Transformer student struggling with their mental health. Someone he referred to as a troublesome Transformer kid, and referred to WAMs in the class only as females. The hearing was told. Well, if he referred to them by any other term, he'd probably be considered an istophobe or something. Mr. Chandon was suspended from student-facing duties and was told to work from home while investigation was carried out into his inappropriate and unprofessional language. Yeah, that's the point. If I was in his position, I would obviously stay on to keep collecting the paycheck, because I think when this happens, yeah, he's still getting paid. But I would immediately have been looking for another job in a completely different industry, for that matter. I'd be like learning how to oil maintenance robots or something. 2 investigation meetings were held with the senior lecturer in January and in February of current year -1, after which it was decided the process would continue to a disciplinary hearing chaired by Professor Molasiotis. So what I'm willing to bet happened is that they offered to do a struggle session with him and all the troublesome Transformers, and he told them to fuck off. He said no. So they're like, okay, fine. We're just going to have to get rid of you then. If you're not going to bend the knee, then you're going to have to go. Sorry. Yeah, we can't have this shit here. Yeah, he stood up for himself, and this is where he got. Yeah, haven't you learned that that college is no place for the truth? Feelings are all that matters, man. If you want to seek truth, you can't do it in college. Mr. Charrington was warned that the allegation against him could amount to gross misconduct. He objected to the professor chairing the disciplinary hearing on the grounds that he was biased. on the grounds that he was biased because he had been because he had been at the November meeting. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So, yeah, you just sat there listening to these idiots cry, and you obviously fell for their manipulation. Yeah, I think I think he is biased. I think there's actually a strong case there. Yeah, too bad they didn't seem to take it seriously though. Yeah, reality always wins. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little while for it to take effect, but the longer you stall, the more painful it's going to be, as I keep saying. The request for a change in chair was denied by HR and later became one of Charrington's grounds for believing his dismissal was unfair. Well, once HR gets involved, like they only care about protecting the institution. So during the hearing in April, a summary of the investigation report was presented, and Mr. Charrington gave a response to it, including denying use of the phrase troublesome transformer kid. He also alleged that the students had colluded in social media groups about what they had said during the investigation. Did he have proof? If he had proof and they threw it out, he may have had a good case. The hearing reconvened a few days later, and Professor Molester, let's just call him that, that's easier to remember, concluded that several of the comments had been made, such as referring to women's of the course as females. Yeah, how dare he call them what they are? Questioning the attractiveness of women's in a music video. Look, this is pertinent to the class he's teaching. He's trying to teach them that sex sells. Look, if they don't want to believe it, they can fail. Like all of these students, they're going to be in their 50s still carrying around student loan debt while working minimum wage jobs because their degrees are useless. You're going to win in the end, dude. The anecdote about the transformer student and the comments about university becoming care homes. Professor Molester said these remarks were misogynistic, transphobic, and ableist. Anyone who uses these unironically should not be taken seriously. Like they're demonstrating to you that they are not serious people. And he had decided to dismiss Mr. Charrington without notice on the grounds of gross misconduct. The senior lecturer appealed his sacking on the basis it was unduly harsh, and he had not even been given a chance to address the issues. And it was a breach of the Higher Indoctrination Freedom of Speech Act of current year -2, but the decision was upheld. Yeah, it only applies in one direction, don't you know? It's not what's in the laws, it's how they're enforced. The appeal panel found that Charrington's dismissal did not breach the free speech legislation because the comments were not in an academic line of conversation and were considered discriminatory. So does it matter if what you say is true or not? If they call it hate speech, doesn't count. But Mr. Charrington then took his case to the tribunal, claiming that his sacking was unfair because the witness suggested he had not been spoken to on the supposed basis of, the supposed bias of Professor Molester and the uncorroborated remarks that have been taken into account. However, the tribunal has now ruled that his dismissal was fair and that the disciplinary process has been carried out correctly. The tribunal said that although the university has concluded that Mr. Charrington's comments were not malicious and his contravention of the principles of DEI meant it was still fair sanction. So if you work in the college system in Airstrip 1, you are beholden to the principles of DEI. That is all that matters. So the panel found that the university had taken Mr. Charrington's previously unblemished personal record into account when determining a sanction. So what would have happened if he didn't have a spotless record? Would they have literally executed him or something? Of the freedom of speech claim, it said it had accepted the university's position that the inappropriate and unprofessional comments did not constitute academic line of conversation. It was not part of or arose from the teaching material. Yeah, even the part where he was talking about the attractive women when telling them that sex sells, that had nothing. Yeah, you know what? Colleges are a lost cause. Like every other system in the West, they need to be allowed to fail and be rebuilt from scratch. They provide nothing of value anymore. Unless you desperately need to get into a field that requires college, like a doctor, I would say avoid them. Go into the trades or something. Right out of high school, you'll be way better off. Imagine if you don't waste 4+ years of your life and 4+ years of earning potential on college.